Hello. I like doing that.
The picture is super nice.
¿Verdad? Mi cara es demasiado.
Esa foto en general está genial.
Que María tiene muy buen ojo.
Welcome to another Monday of
No one gets away with anything.
Today with you we are
Jose Rafael Ochoa Neri and
Arianna Lopez.
hi, nice to see you.
Hello again.
Not like we haven't been with each other for like 4 hours.
Yeah, as usual, it just gets worse. Every time we're like, no, we're supposed to take, we're going to shorten the time that we spend before we actually record. I think we're never taking so long to record.
Yeah,
today.
it's like today
Special
we literally
conditions.
took 3 hours.
That's fine.
We had good reasons. I mean,
we had good reasons. So we had like so many guests.
Yes.
With Christmas season.
Yes.
Thanksgiving was yesterday.
Yes. Thanksgiving was yesterday. Today is technically Black Friday.
Exactly.
Is
it today?
Yes, today's Black Friday.
Oh, wow.
Like yesterday at 12, I bought everything that I needed to buy, and it's awesome.
Amazing.
And yeah, last night was Thanksgiving dinner here at my house. I had a lot of people over. We spent most of the day just picking everything up, and then Ariana came and we were like talking like, what are we going to talk about in this episode? And we settled on a subject pretty close to our last episode, I think, or one of our last episodes. And it is
the holidays.
The holidays. Oh my God.
And I think, we mentioned this in our past week, that for us, the holidays and the traditions are a very important part of our culture and actually who we are, the things that we enjoy and the things that make us happy, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So we did not want to let pass this opportunity to reflect on the meaning of the holidays and what keeps the holidays going, basically.
But we also acknowledge that there's a lot of people who don't live the holidays the same way that we do. O sea, en verdad, la manera que nosotros nos crearon y your background, your religion, everything affects the way that you live the holidays. And so we wanted to talk a little bit about that there's good things and bad things about the holidays, and that most people don't like to talk about it. And that's why we're going to talk about it today.
Exactly. And also for context, for us, what the holidays represent is basically Christmas.
Yeah, so the time of year, en Venezuela sería el tiempo en el que hay gaitas, básicamente.
Literal.
Pero para el resto del mundo, basically it would be the time right after Halloween.
Exactly, like November, December.
Right till the beginning of February.
But like what I mean also is that, for example, for the Muslim community, the holidays are in a completely different time of the year. Yeah, exactly. And
they're spread out throughout the year.
Yeah, but also they have like this month, which name I do not remember, when it's like when they only eat at night. Yes,
I don't remember either.
Well, what I mean is that our perception of the holidays is very, I think, Western, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And that's a disclaimer for the rest of the episode. Holidays for us are basically Christmas, a bit of Thanksgiving, and that's something Jose and I were talking about before. It's like Thanksgiving is a very American celebration.
Is it this? No. Yeah, keep going. Sorry.
But I think most of Latin American countries, like especially perhaps like a part of their population, perhaps the high income population of these countries, have somehow adopted this tradition, because one of the most beautiful things about Thanksgiving is that it's not religion oriented. Like,
wait, how did you celebrate Thanksgiving?
The first time I celebrated was 2 years ago. Before that, I've never celebrated with my family. I've always celebrated it with friends.
Okay, so let's go into that. My experience of Thanksgiving is very different. So New Year's was always better with my dad's side of the family. Like New Year's was like their holiday, and it was really fun. And then 24th and 25th, it was a lot with my mom's part of the family.
Okay.
And all of them came together for that. And it was always really fun. Thanksgiving was with my nuclear family. So my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, and I. And when my Manuela came, also her. And the thing is, each one of us would invite our friend and his parents or her parents that really like did something for us that year, or that really meant a lot to us that year. And we would basically have dinner with our friends and their parents, and it was always very wholesome. We would, but I've been celebrating Thanksgiving since I was very little. Like I remember every year celebrating Thanksgiving. So
that's very interesting. For me, it's not that way. Yeah, my family, the thing is, for example, your mom studied in the US, if
Yeah.
I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Right? And I think both of your parents have like...
My dad studied in the U.S. too.
Exactly. Like they both have like very international experience or like influence, right? And even my parents, I think they do as well because we traveled a lot. They never actually got to live that culture, you know?
Yeah.
So they were not passing it on to us because it was not something that belonged to them in the first place,
Yeah.
you know? It was actually me and my sister who I think like started out this idea of celebrating Thanksgiving either with our friends or like amongst ourselves, but we never actually had like a, you know, set date for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Thanksgiving for us was always the third Thursday of the month of November. Always. And it's also, the thing was that right after Thanksgiving, I don't know how religious your family was, but in my family, especially my mom's side of the family, was pretty, and still is very religious, and I appreciate that part of my family a lot. And one thing that we would sing was the La Corona del Viento.
Right.
So we would sing every Sunday for a month before Christmas to signal the coming of Christ and all of that. And then we would sing aguinaldos. So aguinaldos are also a really good part of
it's like
the
Christmas
holidays.
carols, but like in Venezuela.
Yeah, but gaitas edition.
Mi burrita sabe. Well, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna sing because I'm super bad.
My favorite one was Fuego del Cañón.
Es que hay muchos buenos.
Si la Virgen fuera andina.
Ajá, ese es bueno. Y también el que es de como una flor amarilla, no me acuerdo.
I don't remember that one.
Bueno, X. There's infinite ones. Y yo, en mi casa habían CDs, pues. Como que los poníamos mientras montamos el arbolito. Como que the Christmas playlist of the house was like the Christmas playlist, you know? O sea,
Sí.
o sea, tipo, Navidad was such a big deal in my family that, like, my sister's, her birthday is on October 27th. And she used to ask for, like, a birthday decoration, the Christmas tree. Como, there was Christmas in my house since October 27th. And my mom took it out, like, in February or something like that. Like, we really abused.
Yeah, my family we did the same thing. Another tradition that I forgot that I had for Christmas is that most years, whenever we set up the Christmas tree, I invite friends over to set it up with us.
And the cookies, you told me about.
Yeah, and we make cookies. And today, my girlfriend slept over, and two of my best friends slept over. And they stayed in here till like 3. We picked up the entire house, and my dad was like, let's do the Christmas tree. And we did, and the Christmas tree was beautiful. And then I was over there by the couch putting the World Cup game, and I was like, oh, it's that moment again where I have my friends putting the Christmas tree up with me, and it was really nice. It's a tradition that I enjoy a lot, having my friends over for that.
Es que, o sea, a mí me ha pasado, bueno, como todas las cosas que he dicho, bro, I think this is my personality right now. It's only the fact that I moved away from my house. So everything I say, I do, and I breathe for is basically because I'm not with my parents anymore. Pero lo que iba a decir es que desde que me vine, o sea, como Christmas has been a completely different thing, right?
Yeah.
Pero por una parte me he dado cuenta de las cosas que traigo de mis papás, o sea, los valores que me enseñaron, las tradiciones, el significado de la Navidad en mi familia, y al mismo tiempo como que I'm making my own Christmas.
Yes.
Y lo que me pasó este año es que I wanted to put up my Christmas tree, y mi abuela, como she's always been like the mother of Christmas in my family, ¿sabes?
Of course.
The biggest Christmas tree was at her house. We always celebrated Christmas there. All my cousins, all
The
the
matriarch.
presents. Como literally, it was such a magical experience every time we like Santa arrived, you know.
Yeah.
So now that she's here and she cannot have that for herself, she's quite sad about it.
Of course, it's
Because,
like losing a child.
Yeah, and like the fact that she cannot put up her Christmas, and like she decorated everything in her house. Come on, from the stairs to the curtains to like the table and the Christmas tree. Come on, everything had something related to Christmas, and she doesn't have that illusion anymore, right? So I told her like, let's go. We bought a Christmas tree, beautiful natural Christmas tree. We went Christmas shopping.
You bought a natural Christmas
Yeah,
tree?
yeah. Because
Wow.
like in my house, for me, it's very inconvenient having to store a
Yes.
Christmas tree. Come on, every year. I don't know when I'm going to move away or something. So like, and also brought like the red flowers, flores de Pascua. I don't know how you say their name.
Yes, yeah, the red
For
flowers.
the Christmas flowers.
Yeah, you know, we figured out the other day that they're super toxic for cats.
De verdad?
Yeah, we figured out the other day because sorry for the cutout, but a neighbor of my girlfriends brought over the flowers. Like, look, I'm super allergic to them, and I like can't have them in my house. Can you please like keep them for me? Because they're beautiful. I want somebody to have them. And we went, like, they were in the house, and my girlfriend was super happy. And then I told her, like, could you like maybe figure out if they're bad for the cat? And it had a big warning sign, like, very toxic, mortal for cats. Yes.
That's crazy. But yeah, basically.
Yeah, your grandma.
What happens to your cat, like, if they're close to them?
If it eats the flowers, or if it's around it, it can develop a disease.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's weird.
But yeah. So basically, I told her, like, look, like, she was sad and stuff, and my mom also told me, like, you know, let's, like, do something for her. And I was really happy about Christmas overall, and I was like, if I don't put up my Christmas tree now, I'm only gonna have it for, like, 2 weeks, because I'm also leaving, you know, and by the time I come back, it's, like, Christmas is somehow over. So, like, I was like, well, let's do this. I went with my cousins. We bought the Christmas tree. We bought the flowers. I went home, and we, like, put up the tree, and then we figured that my tree from last year was, like, super small, super much smaller than this one, right? So, like, I used to have one night, like, I don't know, como 5 bambalinas, pues, and then we put it on, and the thing was empty. And she was like, imposible, o sea, ¿cómo vas a dejar eso así? Tienes que comprar cosas y tal. Eran las 9 de la noche, y yo le dije, bueno, nos vamos. Agarramos y nos fuimos al Carrefour, tipo, en Mar de Cristal, ¿sabes? Que hay como el Carrefour. O sea, yo nunca había tenido como un late night adventure with my grandma, you know?
And you had one.
And I had one, and she was super excited about it. En condiciones normales, she would have never accepted to leave the house at 9 p.m., go to the Carrefour, get something, and come back. Como, that would never have been, like, on the table. And she was like, okay, perfect, let's go. And I was like, I used to have these adventures with my sister, you know? Como esos son el tipo de planes que they're super familiar. Y I had it with her, and she was so happy about it. And she was like, yeah, but take this, this is beautiful, na. We didn't find everything we needed. So, like, anyways, we set up the Christmas tree, and the next day I told her, like, look, let's go Corte Inglés. Dude, en Venezuela había unas tiendas de Navidad arrochísimas. Pero, bro, Corte Inglés como que...
Yes.
Wow. I saw so many beautiful things. I wanted to get everything. Como, and she was like, yeah, but why don't you take it? And I was like, I do not have a limited budget. O sea, como, as much as I would like to spend all the money I could in Christmas, this is not even calculated within the expenses of the month.
Yeah, like... this is... I'm living outside my own. Yeah.
Pero, o sea, my point with all of this is, like, and we also bought, like, panettone, and she bought, like, sweets and wine.
Yeah, my girlfriend loves panettone.
I didn't like it until she introduced it to me. Entonces, exacto, para mí la Navidad también tiene muchísimo que ver con ella. O sea, para mí, mi Ava es como que everything that has to do with Christmas, you know? She's
Same
the
here.
Christmas spirit.
Same
she
here.
is the Christmas spirit, right? Entonces, para mí, o sea, a pesar de que no estoy con mi familia y no monto el arbolito con mi mamá, ni con mi hermana, ni con mi papá, ni siquiera con mis amigos, el hecho de montarlo con ella es más que suficiente. Es como que the only person I think is as excited or more excited for Christmas than me is her. And it makes me very happy. And moments of the connection like that one are very hard. Y I'm very grateful for Christmas for giving me that.
I have a similar experience. So because Christmas was always with my mom's side of the family, there was this tradition where we would all give each other presents on Christmas Day, and it would be always like every single one of your cousins would receive a gift from every single one of your uncles and aunts. Okay, so from this aunt and uncle, you got this, and from the other aunt, and the same was so that your parents bought presents for all your cousins. And when the cousins became like after 25, they got presents for everyone too. But the thing was that the person who would hand out every single gift was my grandmother. She would sit down next to the Christmas tree, grab the gift, and say, "For Andreina from Jose." And then you would have to go up, grab the present, hug grandma, and then hug the person who actually got you the present.
Sí, además tipo super awkward hug, como, oh, thank you.
And most of the time she didn't even know. She got the presents like 3 months in advance and she forgot what she got you. But for us, my grandma's house was always Christmas house.
Exacto.
Okay? Y eso que nosotros vivíamos acá y arriba vivía mi abuela. Y arriba había arbolito y abajo había arbolito. And there were decorations from upstairs and from downstairs. And we got like our Christmas present from like Santa upstairs. But Reyes was downstairs.
The same thing for me. Como Christmas, like imagine this. Como my grandma's house is like a very cozy place, right? She had this huge Christmas tree and this like huge living room, right? So I have 7 cousins, plus 4 aunts, 4 uncles, my grandma, and then my grandma from the other side. We were a lot of people, right? So first, it was the whole Christmas day, right? We arrived in the morning to her house to prepare everything. We went back home, we showered, we got ready, and then we went back to have dinner, right? So imagine a table with like 20 people or something like that. And you had everything I loved. Como the turkey, they also made like this puree and the salad and like el pan de jamón. Como,
the salads were always amazing for some reason.
Todo. Como, there was nothing that I did not want
hallacas?
to eat. No. Bueno, nosotros hacíamos hallacas, pero no las comíamos en Navidad. So like, when we were kids, we were just like waiting for it to be 12, you know? Like, what's the point of Christmas if it's not going to be Santa, you know?
Yeah.
But my cousins and I, since we were that many, we organized like Christmas dances, right? So like I coordinated like a set of like, for example, 5 performances. Como, entonces yo hacía una con mi hermana, hacía una con mi primo, hacíamos una todos juntos. And there was a schedule, y'all. Tipo, y mis primos y yo pasábamos, te lo juro, un mes organizando la vaina. Era como que, ok, esto es lo que te vas a poner en este primer acto, después en el segundo acto salen estos dos y ustedes se van y se cambian y tal. Y en el último acto, la última vez que lo hicimos, mi primo más chiquito estaba bebé. Entonces fue el niño Jesús, bro.
Oh my God.
Ay, coño. Del nivel de tipo organización de eso. Entonces, once we picked up, it was almost 12, right? And usualmente pasaba como una caravana de Navidad por fuera de casa de mi abuela. So like, magically, we went out, and by the time that we had gone back,
all the presents were there.
And since we were like so many kids, it was literally como an avalanche of presents. O sea, tipo, toda la sala estaba llena de regalos.
Oh my God, you're so smart. They would make me go to sleep.
No. It was amazing. Entonces, eso. We opened the presents, and then we did como el intercambio. My aunt gave all of exactly what you said. Como everyone gave somebody a gift, right? Y we would just like stay up until like 2 or 3 in the morning. Drinking Nestí, me acuerdo que lo único, como nosotros no tomábamos café, los niños como que tomábamos Nestí.
Claro, para mantenerte
mi mamá
despierto.
siempre me decía, el Nestí te mantiene despierta. Entonces nos inyectaban Nestí, y al día siguiente pasamos igual todo el día ahí como que jugando y estrenando todos los juguetes. Y I love my cousins, and sharing that with them is also like one of the things for which I treasure Christmas the most también. There's so much to it.
There is.
How was it for you?
The thing is, my family, at least from my mom's side, there were 7 brothers. Mm-hmm. Each one of them was married and had a family. We were about 24 cousins, more or less.
I was proud of us being 7.
Yeah, we were 24 cousins, more or less. The thing is, varying ages. Most of my cousins are between 30 and 40 right now. Mm-hmm. Even some of them are getting to 50. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we were a lot of people. And we were always, like, my brother, my sister, and I, we were the little ones. Mm-hmm. We got the most, attention. My brother got the most attention. Mm-hmm. I got the second most attention, but it was... I never really needed that much attention. Mm-hmm. I really liked, you know, just seeing everybody be happy. And we had this big dinner as well, everything. My mom would make the turkey. My aunt would make the salad. My other aunts were really good at like desserts. And one of them, Tia Maria, love you. She makes chocolate mousse, which is like ridiculously addictive. Like she sells it today. Mm-hmm. Like it's like, go buy it. It's really good. Les amis en entrecôte. Amazing. And it would just be, you know, drinking champagne. Like the first time I ever had anything to drink was definitely like, no, it was New Year's. It was probably
Champaña
New Year's.
Año Nuevo.
Champaña
Yo
Año Nuevo.
Igualito.
100%. Champaña Año Nuevo. Y era mi tío, toma, sobrino. And he would give me a little. And honestly, like for me, at least, Año Nuevo era muy distinto porque era con los Ochoa. Y siempre, o sea, la parte con los Ochoa. La parte de mi papá y la familia hacían, o sea, they would get together and do something called an ochoada, which means that all of the Ochoas, regardless of where you come from, would come and get together and have like, and it would generally be like parrilla, hallaca, like yuca, sancochada, guasacaca, chistorra. It would be like that for like hours. And then when it was getting really like tonight, we would do a present exchange, but we would always Año Nuevo, because we knew that most of us went 24th with our like
The
the other side of the families. And so 31st was for us, and we would do the Christmas exchange, and we would do it with mimicry. So you had to act like the person that you were going to give the present to. Okay. It was always really cool. It was always really fun. And like, even the little kids, like, you were really little, and it was like, okay, how do I act like my cousin? He's so cool. How do I do this? It was always really, really nice.
¿Y cuántas personas eran?
From my dad's side, we were 5, but 2 of them live in the U.S. and didn't come back for, like, I saw one of them once in one Christmas, but most of them stayed. So the time that when most of them lived in Venezuela, it was we were 4 in total. No, we were there are 5 brothers. 2 of them lived outside. We were 3. Okay, but you have 6. Okay, so yeah, we were 4. They were 4,
Like,
and so it was
como núcleos familiares.
exacto. There were 4, 4 núcleos familiares. Eran mi hermana, mi hermano y yo, mi prima, mi primo y mi primo, mi prima y mi primo, y ya.
El trabalengua.
No,
Prima,
yeah.
primo, primo.
So we were I don't know, let's put 16, 20 people. It was more close to what yours looked like. But it would the night would always end with all the cousins going to play with their individual presents. Like, you know, the game you got for the Nintendo. I remember that the first book I ever read in one day was Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Dog Days, that I read that day, that they gave it to me at my aunt's house. And I spent literally the entire night just reading, and I just finished it in one day. And it was always like that. For us, Christmas was like that. But I think what was most remarkable about Christmas in my house was always, in many ways, the presents and the food. Like, food, hallacas, like, I've been hallacas my entire life.
¿Tú comías hallacas en Navidad?
En Navidad, en Año Nuevo, todo el tiempo que estuviese en el medio, y 6 meses después, cuando quedaban 2 hallacas en el congelador, también. Yes. I didn't like hallacas that much. I preferred bollo because I was a picky little child. Sí. Today, I would kill for an hallaca. Anyone.
Pero es que,
whoever you are.
Ajá, paréntesis. Hacer hallacas es la tradición.
Nunca hice hallacas.
¿De verdad?
En mi familia se hicieron hallacas, pero yo nunca hice hallacas. Nunca.
Pero,
like, I know what it entails. Tipo, no, mentira. Hubo un año que yo amarré hallacas.
Pero tu familia, o sea, tu mamá, tu papá hacían hallacas y tú no hacías hallacas.
O sea, a veces hacían algunas partes. O sea, porque ¿qué pasa?
Okay.
What would happen is that the other family. So, for example, from my mom's side of the family, the other sides of those families all made hallacas.
Okay.
So it was unnecessary. Everybody brought hallacas.
Okay.
And the same thing happened with my dad's side of the family. Like, they would always have people that brought them hallacas. I know that some years we've made, but we never make too much. We make a couple of them for the family only. And it's so, like, the process, when there's too little to do, the process is so little that I was very young and I didn't get to do anything. But I remember that one year I was the one that, you know, ¿sabes cuando estás amarrando la hallaca que tienes que poner el dedito para hacer el nudo? Yo fui el dedito. En algún momento yo fui el dedito que ponías para amarrar la hallaca.
Bueno, and for those who do not know, hallacas are like some sort of tamales.
Yes, they're kind of like tamales.
And if you don't know what tamales is, I don't really know how to explain. But it's like some corn dough, right?
Corn dough.
And then you also le pones onoto, que no tengo ni
I have no idea what it is.
¿Cómo se dice en inglés? It's like this orange como pigmentation that you put in the dough, right? So like you... Onoto. You spread it out and then you put a bunch of like rellenos.
So you put pernil.
Bueno, depende. O sea, nosotros lo hacíamos con carne.
Con carne, wow. We would generally do it with pernil. So it was like, you know, pernil is
pork.
Pork, yeah. It's a part of the pork or
exactly.
The entire, I'm not
sure. I don't know. Brother,
I have no idea. Yes. Pork, you would have aceitunas, pasas.
Raisins.
Yeah.
You would have like peppers and like onions and like basically a bit of everything. And it looked more or less like this, right? You need a very like sophisticated chain of production, right? You need the first person who was gonna clean the plant. Oh no.
Anato. It's called anato.
Bueno, nuestro productor dice que se dice anato. Es como, it's like an orange pigmentation. What?
Play it.
No, it's good. I don't think you're gonna listen to it.
Okay.
But it's like, exactly, it's like the orange pigmentation. Entonces, como also part of the magic of this food is that you wrap it up in plantain leaves.
Yes,
right?
you wrap them up in plantain leaves.
Entonces, the chain of production would look more or less something like this. You need someone who cleans the leaves.
Yes.
Right? And then you have someone who's going to put the dough in the leaf and is going to spread it out. Right? Then you have someone who's going to put the, like, some of the relleno. what's the name for that?
Stuffing.
Exactly. Some of the stuffing, and then you would have someone who would finish it up, and then you have someone who was going to grab them up, and then someone's going to cook them.
Yes. And then somebody who checked them every hour and then refrigerated everything.
Exacto. Y contaban y decían, los bollos son estos, las hallacas son estas, o sea... Y además tenías que tener el guiso preparado desde antes, everything cut it from before.
The guiso is like the soup.
Exactly, like the meat.
Yeah.
Right? So, for us...
Is the guiso the soup or the meat?
Es que para nosotros era como que la carne la cocinabas en el guiso.
Claro, el guiso es la sopa.
Exacto,
okay.
Pero es como la carne. Pues,
yeah, it's... Okay, perfect. We have the same idea.
Entonces, for me, hacer hallacas, even since I was small, meant waking up like at 5 in the morning because you had so much work to do, you had to go super early.
Oh my God.
We would all go to my grandma's house, all my cousins, all my aunts, etc., right? And then, when I was small, like, the big people would cook, and my cousins and I would, play around.
Yeah.
But then, the more we grew, like... The more we
you evolve in the chain of...
Exacto, como que vas escalando. Pues y ya cuando estás tipo amarrando hallacas, bro...
Ya eres. No, y aparte, at least I've heard that the way that you wrap the hallaca means that it's a bollo or an hallaca. Or that it's an hallaca with perníl, or that it's an hallaca for the person who doesn't eat this.
Por eso te digo, necesitas una persona que keeps track of how many you do, like el trabajo.
¿Tú nunca escuchaste la historia de una señora que fue de Caracas a Miami y la pararon en aduana porque tenía la maleta llena de leaves de plantain? Y le preguntaron, ¿qué es esto? Y la señora no hablaba inglés y le decía, for hallaca. And of course...
O sea, nosotros, look at us, like we're having the hardest time in the world to explain what that is.
Imagine, and we've had like 30 minutes to do it.
I feel like this is the most Spanglish podcast we've ever had.
Yes.
Yeah, like...
Uno terminaba la noche, o sea...
Agotado.
No, pero no tanto para hacer hallacas. When you went to Christmas dinner and you ate everything, like it's so difficult to stay awake after that. Like you would eat your body weight
much.
In hallacas and pan de jamón.
Pan de jamón, bro.
Pan de jamón. Like, honestly,
amazing.
I could live on pan de jamón. No problem.
Sí. Y también, por ejemplo, está esta cosa de que la que comes en Navidad no lo comes el resto del año.
Sí.
Entonces, es que, te lo juro, o sea, para mí como the whole package entails like so many emotions and so much love and so much worth that I wouldn't change it for anything, Y por eso como que sentir el olor de algo navideño o tasting the food or imagining the food means like so much.
My dad, I've seen him do this a couple times since I've lived with him the last couple of years. He saves a couple of hallacas, 2-3 hallacas, and he saves them. And whenever he's had a particularly rough day, he makes an hallaca when he gets home. And you see it. It's like the smelling it and being like...
Huele a Navidad.
Oh, it smells like Christmas. And you get a bit of energy back from that, which is incredibly
Genial.
good.
Es que es todo, o sea, en Caracas está esto de... También tienes las gaitas que son durante el mes de noviembre, o sea, they mark up like the beginning of Christmas.
Yeah,
right?
you know it's December when you start listening to gaitas in the radio.
No, antes. Desde octubre. Pues.
Bueno, pero para mí ya octubre, cuando hay gaitas, ya es de época de gaitas, época de diciembre,
época decembrina. Y bueno, una última como tradición que teníamos nosotros, teníamos tanto Reyes, pero Reyes era literal solo regalos, pues, como no sé cómo era.
Sí, Reyes era despertarte súper tempranito de la mañana e ir a agarrar los regalitos que quedan. Y they were never big presents, they were always like candy or like a little toy or something, but it was never like a Nintendo. No, that's Christmas. It was something a bit more like siempre eran que sí gomitas.
Como el gesto, pues.
Sí.
Y el espíritu de la Navidad, que no sé si tú lo celebraste en algún momento.
No, we never. So, like, what, the day after Christmas?
No, it's the 21st of December, right? Basically, the whole concept is you gather, you write a letter to the Christmas spirit.
Oh, yeah, but that's with the La Corona de Adviento.
Bueno,
you do that. It's like the third, the wait, 24th minus 7?
And 17.
Okay, no, I'm mistaken then. No, I never did the spirit. I think I did the Christmas spirit at one point, but I don't remember it clearly.
Bueno, básicamente es eso. O sea, escribes una carta para el espíritu de la Navidad ese año y quemas tu carta del año pasado. Y, o sea, cuando quemas tu carta del año pasado, como que antes de quemarlo, la revisas, ves que se te cumplió, que no se te cumplió. Because you ask for some wishes, right?
Yeah.
And after you burn those and you already wrote the ones for the next year, you gather around in a table and you light up like some mandarin candles, ¿verdad? you como say some words, like people express their gratitude and like what they're happy for. You joke around and then con la cera de la vela, you seal like your letter, right? And you keep it for next year.
Oh my God, that's such a cool tradition.
En verdad, sí. El año pasado le hice con mis amigos. Y lo que
That's
pasa
so
es
good.
this year I'm not going to be in Caracas for the date. But I think I remember some of the wishes that I made, and some of them, like, I know como
have come true.
And I'm so happy about it.
I'm going to do that 21st of December. I'm going to write it down.
There's even like some, I mean, the original, I think it's like prayers, but you don't have to do the prayers. Como, you can
do whatever you want.
Exacto. But I think it's a beautiful como tradition. And yeah.
I have a debate for another day, by the way.
Okay.
Later, I'll tell you. But yeah. What about I always had the experience every once in a while, like especially those 4 years between 14 and 18, where I was actually pretty good physically, but I didn't feel super okay with my body. Where like eating in December was always like I want to eat everything, but I can't or I shouldn't. Like, do you have a similar experience?
Bueno, when I was during my eating disorder, I would literally just serve myself salad, a bit of the pavo, and I didn't even try pan de jamón. Como, they were solid like 3 years where I just didn't eat any of those things. Ni siquiera me provocaban, pero era como una cosa de que...
Oh my God, I can't. O sea, sí he sentido tipo en mi familia, especially my aunts, and I love all of them, sometimes get into that tipo, pero te voy a comer eso, and they do it with the best intentions possible, but you receive it, la mayoría de veces como que, ¿será que estoy comiendo de más? Etcétera. And it's not, like, I've learned to listen to myself in that sense, pero sí, definitely associated to, you know, seasonal depression stuff, tipo diciembre, etcétera. It comes with anxiety about seeing family and eating, especially. I think.
Okay. And what I think is that, o sea, por ejemplo, para mí era como que I rarely ever como have the opportunity to eat what I eat in Christmas, and I rarely ever also give myself the opportunity to just like eat everything I want, you know?
Yeah.
Como, o sea, usualmente me va a comer algo, but I'll just have like a portion of it. Y en Navidad es como que the best thing is not the Christmas dinner, it's when you wake up in the morning.
And you have all the leftovers.
And you have all the leftovers too.
My fridge right now.
Arepa con pernil, brother.
Bueno, hey, my fridge right now is full of pernil. And, you know, the best thing in the world in Thanksgiving, puré de...
Pumpkin pie.
No.
Batata.
Puré de batata con marshmallows encima. That is another thing. We have 2 big Tupperwares full of it.
No me digas eso.
And
me
love.
pongo triste.
And I don't know, like lately, creo que desde la perspectiva de vivir acá, creo que tú me lo mencionaste también, tipo, like, it's not the same Christmas living here. I think Thanksgiving has stayed more or less the same. And I think Christmas this year will probably be more Christmassy than ever. Or at least than ever in Spain for me. But there's definitely a change. And it has also led me to be very, it's not self-conscious, very, you know... Thoughtful and like looking back at my whole Christmas experience from when I was younger, my whole holiday experience when I was younger. Like remembering my grandma, she passed away a year ago. May she rest in peace. And remembering all of these things, or like Christmas with my family, and all that, like in Caracas. I don't know if you have that experience where, because you go most Decembers, but I don't know if you have that experience. Even if you know you're gonna go, like right before you go, don't you feel a bit like that's the word, nostalgic about the past of Christmas?
Sí, total. Porque, por ejemplo, para mí es el hecho de que mi familia nunca o no ha estado junta desde hace como 5 años. Pues. Tipo, having all my cousins, as I told you about. Like, it's a long time since that happened for the last time, right? So even if I go back home and I get most of the experience, o sea, la familia al final is the main point of the whole Christmas thing. Como, if you have nobody to share it with, then...
Why are you doing it?
Why are you doing it?
I mean, what if your first year here, you went back for Christmas?
Yeah.
You've never stayed?
No.
So I had one year where it was a year that I was living alone with my brother. And we bought each other Christmas presents and everything, but we didn't have a tree. We had a tree that was literally this size.
I remember.
Okay? Yeah, you remember? And it was like this little Christmas tree, and we put the presents under the tree, and we gave each other presents. And it still felt like it's not a Christmas that I would, you know, put as something that we didn't celebrate. It was still something super special, meaningful, and important to me. And again, I had Christmas dinner at my dad's house, and you know, we did a couple of things. But the Christmas for me wasn't that. It was being with my brother in our house where we lived alone, like independent adults, which we were not and still are not. And then, giving each other a present or two. And our presents were like, I gave my brother a shaving machine. And my brother, I don't know what my brother gave me. I don't even remember. No, I got my brother tea. We gave each other shaving machines.
Okay.
That we bought on Black Friday for a 2-for-1, which was really nice. And then I got my brother, he got me a shaving kit, which was like a baggie to put, because I don't have one shaving machine. I have like 5.
Okay.
All these beauty is kept up in many ways.
Okay.
And I have a lot of shaving stuff. And he bought me like a little baggie so I can, because I was going to my girlfriend's house a lot, and he was like, you need to be able to move this stuff around. And he got me a little baggie to move it around, and it says, have a I shave you, or I love you, or something. It was really cute. And then I got my brother, he loves tea. I love tea. You love tea.
I love tea.
That's a green flag. And then I got him like one of these Chinese teapots where you can like put the thing on top, and it does everything. And my brother loves it, and he just went to live away, and he still has it. And so I think it's that made Christmas that he gave me something that I really that he thought I would want or need or would help me, and I did the same. So yeah, lovely, right?
Lovely.
Is it too much about giving presents? Maybe.
I don't think so. I think perhaps the hype of the overconsumption in Christmas is something that has maybe reached an extent that is a bit extreme. Come on, Black Friday. That's another topic. Come on, that's a debate for another day.
Yeah.
But like, definitely there's a big hype and there's a big commercial opportunities behind the whole Christmas idea, right? But like, also that's part of the magic of it, isn't it? Come on, the thing about holidays is that you have a lot of permissions, right? You have permissions to enjoy the foods that you love. You have permissions to stop your life regularly and spend time with your family.
To allow yourself, at least for me, for example, Thanksgiving, we always talk before we eat. And it's always a moment where you can express what you feel about you, about your family, about everything that's going on in your life, and be thankful. And it's a rather emotional moment that you don't really have at any other time of the year. So it's not only that you allow yourself to eat, or that you allow yourself to, indulge yourself in a present, or it's that you I think it's also the fact that you allow yourself to feel with the people that technically, or that should mean the most to you, whether that be your family or your friends or whoever you're living it with. And I think that the giving of something doesn't have to be physical, but it does make me wonder, like, what is it about giving something that makes Christmas a holiday? Like, what makes a holiday a holiday?
Well, now that you say about giving something, it's very true, like the very cliche phrase that like the thing that gives you the most satisfaction is when you make something for somebody else, when you make somebody else happy.
Yeah.
Y es algo que, bueno, no sé si te pasa, pero like in relationships, I know that for my boyfriend, it's like he really appreciates when I do something small for him, like in a day that he did not expect, right? Even if it's like bringing him something small or doing something that he really appreciates. And it's a very genuine way of showing love.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think just like the holidays take away all of this, like perhaps cringe to do nice things.
Yeah, okay.
And it's like you just have the opportunity to be super nice to everyone. Giving a lot, sharing a lot. Being there a lot, yeah.
And not only being there a lot, making a lasting memory. I remember the first time I saw my sister pick up her Christmas present. Like you've marked somebody's life. It's something that when we talked about the things that we do that are meaningful for us, the thing that changing somebody's life and you being able to see it at that moment. It's magic. It's magical.
That's the magic of the holidays.
That's why your family would be like, oh, the parade, go outside, and then all the things. Like that's that moment of being a parent, working all year, no breaks, no anything, and then that day just seeing your children light up is
beautiful,
amazing. Yeah.
And well, I don't know if like there's this other thing of Christmas for us means all of this, but then there's people who,
I think Christmas is the greatest example for us because we lived in a culture that did this. That's why Thanksgiving applies, but not as much.
Exactly.
But I think that the people who live through Hanukkah or through any other holiday, they live through it in the same way. I think it's a holiday is those things. It's opening up emotionally. Eating food together is a pretty common universal for holidays. Giving presents, whether that be physical or emotional presents, like writing a letter, singing together, those are really human universals, or they're close to human universals, and that you see it in most holidays. And I think that it's something about that. I think it's something about sharing, eating, and being vulnerable with the people that you love the most.
Absolutely. And there's this one, like this other thing, like when somebody messes with your holiday, it's like if they were messing with you. Come on.
Yeah.
Somebody tells you like, yeah, but Christmas isn't that big of a deal.
And you're like, it is for me.
It's like, for me, it's the biggest of the deals.
Yeah.
You know, for
the
me,
biggest of the deals.
The biggest of the deals. For me, it's like, I was telling Jose, I don't know if I already said it, but like in November 1st, I was like, every day of this month and the next, I have a default reason to be happy, and it's Christmas. It's Christmas season, you know. I can go out and see Christmas lights. I can have Christmas lights in my house, a beautiful candle. Come on, the fact that it's Christmas makes me so joyful, and I'm not gonna accept anybody taking that away from me. You know,
of course.
And I will do everything in my power to just bring people who I love into my atmosphere of we love Christmas.
Yeah, I do have one more thing, which is like, well, what you were saying, like when people attack your holiday, and I think you told me this before we started. It's like a lot of people like really don't make, and it shocked you a lot. It didn't shock me that much. I knew about this.
No, I mean I knew about it. Just like it was like, oh wow, but like you don't love Christmas. Come on, you don't think Christmas is like the biggest of the deals?
Yeah, but I think the biggest of the deals. Oh my god. But I do think that that's the reason. I think that everybody has a biggest of deals, and I think that. And I'm going to close. I love closing like this. No one gets away with not having one. I think that if you didn't have one, if you didn't have a big deal, a holiday like Christmas or Hanukkah or any other holiday.
Like your birthday or something.
Yeah, and some people, and I think truly the spiritual, let's put it, spiritual holiday for the Americans, I think, is Thanksgiving. And I think that if you don't have one, if you don't have a moment where you allow yourself to be vulnerable with your family or your friends or the people who are close to you, your significant others, and, you know, share food or feelings or even just company, then I don't think you're living like in the proper definition.
The fullest potential.
To your fullest potential.
Well, then, yeah. The holidays are powerful. They're meaningful. And they bring us together, you know? And if you have your holiday and you have... And that's your reason to be happy for, like, you know, any day, to seize that opportunity, you know? Don't throw it away, and don't let anybody, take that away from you.
Because remember...
that nobody gets away with anything.
Anything. We'll see you again next week. Remember that we are on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Substack. See you next Monday. Bye.
No, ¿saben de dónde vienen las tradiciones? Todas esas fiestas que ustedes estaban hablando.
¿De dónde viene?
Pero no, la pregunta fue si ustedes saben.
No. O sea, bueno, un poco, pero no a detalle.
O sea, Thanksgiving, ¿saben de dónde viene? ¿Ustedes
Sí, yo me sé la historia. Eso es el Mayflower. La gente que llegó en el Mayflower, los pilgrims que llegaron en el Mayflower. A ver, empieza con los Roanoke. Los Roanoke fueron la primera colonia que se fue a Estados Unidos y se murieron todos de hambre cuando llegó diciembre. Entonces, los Mayflowers llegaron sabiendo, nada más sobrevivió uno, que fue el que volvió, se había ido a buscar cosas, cuando volvió todos estaban muertos, se volvió a ir, se fue con el próximo colony, el Mayflower, y estaba buscando una manera de sobrevivir, y los Pilgrims estaban como que pidiendo ayuda, conocen a los Native Americans, eran unos Native Americans que estaban en guerra con otros Native Americans y los vieron a ellos como aliados. Entonces, como los veían como aliados, les dieron de comer y les enseñaron cómo. Primero les dan de comer, y ese es tipo beginning of November, cuando están empezando a quedar sin comida, porque ya empieza el diciembre. Están empezando a quedar sin comida y tuvieron a feast. Y fue porque los indios, los Native Americans, literalmente les dieron comida. Turkey. Y después de eso les enseñan cómo harvest y cómo hacer todo eso. Por eso es que Estados Unidos sobrevive.